guys, welcome to Saving Zoey, a quick game by these wonderful people. I'm excited. Alright. It's been a while since I recorded anything. I'm doing this on Fraps to see if my microphone picks up better on Fraps. But yeah, basically I've been really busy with school. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I will be for the next 3 years. Hooray. Alright, let's get started. Zoey calls me the worst sister in the world, but I personally don't think that's true. I'm not saying that because I'm biased or anything. Would the worst sister in the world give her little sister all of her old stuff? Zoey's got access to a mile-wide closet. It's not my fault she thinks she's too good for my hand-me-downs. Yes, Zoey, I'm obviously talking about you, baby. That's why I'm playing this, because I want to save my Zoey. The worst sister in the world would rather see her sister trip than help her tie her laces for her. She'd never point out when her sister has greens in her teeth or when she has food on her face. It's not babying, it's helping. Yet all I get in response is whine after whine. And the worst sister in the world most certainly wouldn't take her little sister to a haunted house in the middle of a night, or of a late-night Real Housewife marathon. She would have stayed right where she was on the couch. But nope, since she wants some appreciation for once in her life, this so-called worst sister in the world got up, in the middle of the episode, mind you, and drove her sister to the haunted house. It's a special pop-up haunted house put on by some touring haunted house company. Temporarily take over abandoned places on Halloween, put on a good one-night scare, and then move on. Zoey didn't shut up about it the whole ride over. I'd have a mind to put tape over her mouth, but I'm not the worst sister, so I totally didn't. I stayed cool. I stayed cool even when she yanked on my arm with her greasy little hands, begging me to go in with her. Zoey, honey. When we got to the door, the ticket booth guy said there weren't any at the door tickets left. I was ready to go back home, back to my warm couch and stupid reality show, when he took one look at Zoey's sad, puffy face and let us in anyway. He told us to hurry in after the group he just let in. No one could notice a thing. So I'd probably be in the reading room by now. So that's how I got stuck here, in a haunted house with my baby sister, trying to prove to her that I'm a damn good sister. Barely one step inside and she's already scared. Kids are dumb. Why do they go to things that they know they're going to be scared of? This still doesn't mean you're not the worst sister. You're lucky I don't leave you here. I drove you, remember? That's because Mom made you do it. Zoey, honey, I know you know your name, but you need to stop, okay? You need to stop. Oh no, that's not why. I'm giving. I'm caring. I'm making a Friday night sacrifice. Because Mom was going to take away your phone. Whatever, you're always getting hung up on the details that make me look bad. Are there any details that don't make you look bad? Okay, Kelly, stay cool. Don't let her get to you. Shrugging, I jam my hands in my pockets and keep on walking. The hallway of the dilapidated house might look spooky on its own, but without a tour guide around to activate the scares, it's just kind of lame. Poor Zoey seems frightened in either way, though. She may try and act tough around me, but I can tell she's faking it. What do they call that? Putting on airs or something? It's like she's putting on tough girl airs. She's shaking like a leaf, trying to strafe down an empty hall like she's in an action movie. Reading room. Hey, I think this is the door we gotta go through. Ready, Squirt? Don't call me that. If she looks like a squirt and acts like a squirt, then she's a squirt. And if she looks like the worst and acts like the worst, then she's the worst. Shut up. I pull the door open and in one swift motion and shove her inside. She stumbles into the darkness. I go in after her because I'm not mean enough to leave her completely alone. Up ahead, I can see small circles of light dancing. Tiny flashlights? They must be the group that we have to meet up with. I start walking towards them before I notice that Zoey isn't moving. She's frozen. I find her hand. It's hard to see in the room. Somebody's whispering something in the corner. Maybe a poem or a prayer or something. My figure sways near what I'm guessing is our walking path. Come on, we need to move if we're going to catch up to them. There's nothing to be afraid of, okay? I've got you. Her fingers tense up around mine. Oh, okay. Everything is great for a bit, going exactly the way it's supposed to. I'm heading towards the flashlights. She's heading towards the flashlights. I'm holding her hand, she's holding mine. But then something goes bump in the night, and she lets go of me and runs off screaming somewhere. I try chasing her, but you know kids and their ability to run off out of your reach. Didn't help that the universe worked against me and I tripped over something during my pursuit to catch her. Once I recover, I don't see the flashlights anymore. Zoey, get back here! I run towards where I thought they were, my shoes hitting the wood floor so hard I feel like I'm almost flying. Why'd she have to run off like that? Why couldn't she have given me some warning before bolting? Zoey! I don't see the bookshelf until I've already collided with it. The impact knocks me off my feet and onto my back. The next thing I know, I'm staring at a lit-up ceiling, still on the floor from my previous collision. The only person in the room with me is a confused-looking guy who seems like he's around my age, give or take a year. He has a walkie-talkie with him. I crawl back up onto my feet. Do you work here? Yes, are you alright, miss? I found you passed out. How long have I been out? Zoey, honey. I'm not sure. I was making my end-of-the-night rounds and found you here. Were you here with anyone? Yeah, my little sister. I groaned, clutching the back of my head. I took a harder fall than I thought. Description? Shoes? Kind of like me, but smaller. Pink hair. She might be wearing Mary Jane's. He turns away to speak into his walkie-talkie. Yes, hello, baby. We've got a Code Chihiro wearing Mary Jane's. Code Chihiro. Color? Black? She's wearing a pink jacket dress thing. Black Mary Jane's may or may not be in a pink jacket dress. Do you copy? There's a click and a fuzzy response that I can't make out. He pointlessly nods a bunch of times. It's like the person on the other end can see him, so that's weird. People do a lot of weird things when they're nervous, I guess. Exit staff. Have you seen a Code Chihiro matching description? Another response, this one even fuzzier. He holds the receiver directly to his ear, then looks over at me. Ma'am, they're going to lock up the facility. There hasn't been any sighting of her at the exit. They're going to review the security tapes and walk around the perimeter in case someone overlooked her. How did you get here? I've got a Camry, green with a pink paintball stain on the side. He radios in the information about my car, raising his eyebrow as he mentions the pink stain. Long story. Okay, well, we'll have someone check the car in case your sister's there. My name is Blake, by the way. We have a great staff here, so I'm sure we'll be able to find your sister, very soon. I'm Kelly. What's with that code and stuff? Well, we can't just say lost child on the radio in case we're overheard by, someone that grabbed her. We mentioned her shoes because a kidnapper can easily put another coat on a child. What they can't do is easily change their shoes. Not saying that she's been kidnapped or anything, just a safety precaution. Thanks. You make me feel so much better. Not. I'm going to keep looking for her. There's no use in hanging around in this room. I can't let you search on your own. Company policies concerning safety hazards and all that. I'll go with you. It's also safest that way. I wouldn't want you to accidentally trigger something you shouldn't. What, like a death trap? Haunted houses are death traps for people with weak hearts, And for little girls who are afraid of books falling on the ground. I would have laughed if I weren't so worried about Zoey. Blake picks a book up off the floor, and I'm betting that's the one that scared Zoey off. To my surprise, it actually has pages. You guys weren't just dropping boxes filled with rocks? What? The book, the heavy smack sound. I thought it was a silly prop. No, we put a lot of effort into our haunted houses. Our events might be pop-up and rather linear since they're tour-guided, but we make sure to put a ton of work into it. People might only get to see 10% of that effort, but that's alright. We want it to be a full 10% that feels like it's 100%. Like, wow, they thought of everything, even book pages. Something like that. My boss tells it much better than I do. See, look, you can read the book if you want. It's real. Some of it is authentic text. He's beaming with pride. Wow, he must really like working here. Why not? I take the book from him and bring the pages close to my eyes. We slice the souls from their skin. We pull their eyes from hollowed heads. Whoa, this is some pretty gruesome stuff. Those who adorn special marks upon their flesh are wearing wards. These protections will guard them against a cruel fate. The mark is a set of 3 symbols. I flip through some more, the content of the pages becoming increasingly creepy as I skim the lines of text. And the least innocent ones, it will be their shells that we scrape off using a technique borrowed from fishmongers. Get the innards and spare the fillet. When you get them like that, you can arrange the peels of their skin however you like. You'll find that the stomach gives away the best. Evisceration is a necessity. If the sacrifice isn't cooperating, you should skip to evisceration with a firm slice to the abdomen. See figure 5.1. Who came up with this? One of our staff members does some writing on the side, but he borrowed a lot from legit sources. Most of it is the real deal. It's meant to give some insight into the cult we base this haunted house off of. I close the book and give it back to him. So this place is supposed to be A ghostish, cultish house? See that 10 times fast. I wonder why they didn't just pick one or the other. There's nothing wrong with being simple. I take it you didn't read our brochure. It's meant to be a simulated tour of a cult house with some supernatural elements. Yeah, I think my sister mentioned something about that. She practically memorized that brochure of yours. She's like a spokeswoman for you guys. She knows everything. What was her name again? Zoey. Well, once we find Zoey, I'll talk to my boss about getting her involved with our online street team. They help us with our social media marketing. It's very important since we do pop-up haunted attractions. If you don't have a strong marketing team, then no one will know we exist. This room we're in right now is the reading room, in case you were wondering. We load it with cultists who read books like this one out loud by candlelight. Keep it pitch black to make it scary. Guests are usually given flashlights, but I suppose you didn't have one. If you did, you're not holding on to it now. We came in late and missed out on the flashlights. I rubbed the back of my head. I can feel a knot forming. Did you trip and bump your head in the dark? Is that what knocked you out? You might want to get that checked out. It could be a concussion. I'll get it checked out later. Right now I'm just interested in finding Zoey. My head will hold up. Are you sure? Most of our staff are CPR certified. I can send you to someone. What does being CPR certified have to do with a concussion? I'm deadly sure. What's the next room? Where do you think she could have gone from here? Possibly the living quarters? It's where the cultists will go to sleep. Follow me. It's close to the reading room. There aren't a ton of rooms in this haunted house, right? We're not the only ones canvassing the facility, so we won't have to cover every single room ourselves, if that's what you're worried about. It'll be fine. It won't take very long for the staff team to find her. I think we're the only ones in this part of the haunted house, though. A streak of green zooms across my vision. Wait, what was that? Are you sure no one else is around here? They would have radioed me if I hadn't. And I haven't gotten anything since I reported your sister. But I just saw someone in, like, cultist gear. Green long flowing cloak with a hood pulled over their head. That's strange. They don't have outfits like that. Our actors wear blue, not green. Let's go on to the living quarters. That bump in your head is probably making you see things. I know what I saw. Someone definitely ran by it. They went over there. We can catch him if we run. I thought you were really interested in finding Zoey. What does chasing after something that might not even be real have to do with anything? It's your imagination playing tricks on you. Screw you. I take off running. I don't need Blake's permission to do anything. I hear him right behind me. I skid to a stop, Blake nearly crashing into my back. What are you doing? In front of us, the hooded person is sprawled out on the ground. What happened here? Did he trip? Cardiac arrest? I think he's hurt. Watch out, let me handle this. He cups his hands around his mouth and calls out, Hello, sir, is everything okay? You seriously think calling out to him is going to do anything? He's clearly out cold. I didn't know that from where I'm standing. It sounds like there's a creaking in the distance, but I don't pay it much mind. One of us needs to check up on this guy, whoever he is. Maybe he's lost. It's Halloween, so that would explain the weird outfit. I can pull down his hood and see if he's okay. Yeah, go for it. Blake approaches the man. He's slow about it, hesitant. I hold my breath. He grabs the back of the hood and pulls. What? He's not a man at all. He's a wooden dummy. A stupid prop. A knock on its smooth wooden face. Someone must have rigged this up and deployed it by accident, but that still doesn't explain the outfit. Maybe someone wanted to get away unseen? Fitching their cloak might make them less recognizable to people. It's possible someone wore it and then took it off to blend in with the crowds more easily. Because that would make it harder to identify them as the person in the green cloak who found a little girl and took her away. My stomach sinks. Let's go. It doesn't take us long to reach the living quarters. I nearly slip on a scrap of paper. I take a glance at it before putting it in my pocket. Is Zoey into haunted houses, or did this one in particular call out to her? I'd never seen her so excited to go to one before. Congrats, looks like your brochure did its job. Truth is, she's a total scaredy cat, only acting like she's brave when she's really not. Maybe it's because you're brave. You did chase down a wooden dummy, after all. Big deal. Hey, not many people would have chased down a random person they saw run by, especially in a haunted house. What if the dummy had been real? I don't know what to say to that. Abrasive is a better word for me than brave. I get on people's nerves because they don't respect boundaries. Or so they tell me. She probably has little sister syndrome, where she wants to act like and do the same things as her sister. Yeah, right. Little sister syndrome? What would you know about that? I'm familiar with a similar disease known as little brother syndrome. You have a little brother? Is he working in a haunted house? No, he's not. We don't have children on the staff. He would have loved hiding in here, though. Hide and seek's his favorite. Zoey liked that game when she was younger. She always hid either in the closet or under the bed. Never anywhere else. I'd find her within 5 minutes. Could she be playing hide and seek with everyone now? I'll kill her if she is. I'm going to check for a status update. One moment, please. He turns on those walkie-talkies. That mic roars out of it. The reception in this room is terrible. Do you want to borrow my phone? No, this place is a dead zone. Cell phones don't work here. I checked my phone for confirmation of that, and sure enough, he wasn't lying. He goes to the door. The knob doesn't turn. Frustrated, he starts banging on it with his fist. Ugh, it seems like the door's stuck. Are you serious? It's not a problem. Don't worry about it. He clicks on his radio again. White noise fills the room. I cover my ears until he makes it stop. Stay calm. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's lots to be afraid of. This is a haunted house. Blake laughs at my stupid joke. And then suddenly stops, his face darkening and growing more serious. Kelly, hide in the closet. Huh? Don't ask questions, just do it. Okay. I jump into the closet, Blake closing the doors for me. I hear him drop to the floor and drag himself. I guess he's hiding under the bed. Why are we doing this? Is something coming for us? We slice the souls from their skin. We pull their eyes from hollowed heads. Is that what's going to happen to us? Something wants to get inside. Oh shit. Fucking quick time event? Are you shitting me? I'm not playing Resident Evil 4. I don't have Leon's nice ass to stare at. I managed to hold it together. I wait a moment before I leave the closet. Blake's the only one in the room. It looks like we're safe. Blake's expression pretty much mirrors what I'm feeling. What was that? Why do we have to hide so fast? He knows something that I don't know. Other than the fact that he has terrible fashion sense. You better tell me right now. I have a small confession to make. Look, the only reason I didn't tell you this was because I didn't believe it myself. Out with it. This isn't a haunted house. Well, it is a haunted house, just not a fake one. It's a house that's haunted with spirits seeking vengeance. The staff team chose this location because of the rumors that there was a cult who performed sacrifices here. Apparently their victims are trying to fight back now. Death gave them the power that the cult stripped from them. The cult probably thought they were freeing their souls, but in reality they just trapped them here. I guess that's the easiest way to explain it. Blake, I'm going to ask you a serious question, and I want you to give me a serious answer. Are you absolutely sure that no one is pulling a prank on us? He looks away and checks his radio again. I'm sure. Things keep happening around us that don't make any sense. That thing from earlier. The mannequin? Yes. And my walkie-talkie not working. That's all. It's all so strange. Hey, I feel like I have to ask you this. Do you trust me? What kind of question is that? Please answer me. I guess. Well, you haven't given me a reason not to trust you. Thank you. When we came in, I noticed that you put something in your pocket. What was it? Can I see it? Sure. I hand it over to him. As I do so, I catch a glimpse of the drawing. Wait, do you think this is from that book? I remember reading something about symbols in there. I think so. Blake looks paler. I've seen this symbol before. A bunch of our staff members have it on their arm, along with 2 more. I thought the whole warding off spirits thing was a joke, but no. We should go back to the reading room. Do you remember where you put the book? Yes. He tries the door. Thankfully, it opens this time. We hurry into the reading room. Blake starts throwing books around. I have to duck to avoid getting hit. What are you doing? I can't find it. I can't find the book. I glance over at one of the few books he hasn't tossed across the room. Did you try this one? It looks identical to the one that I was reading. Yes, that's it. Thank you. I grab it before he can and start thumbing through the pages, only to find that most of them have been torn out. It's more ruined now than the first time I read it. They're not going to go easy on us. He takes a couple pages in between his thumb and forefinger and flips them over. Read this passage. There are 3 symbols to be found. They are as follows. Someone ripped out the rest of the page. Maybe they hid them somewhere? Wouldn't they have been better off just tossing them into a fire? Hiding it means that someone's going to find it eventually. I would have burned it. They might not have that kind of power. They, as in the ghosts. Come to think of it, and this might be unsettling, but many of the cult's victims were children. Could be playing some form of hide and seek. Oh, so not only were they religious freaks, but they were also killing children. How could they get any worse? I check the next page. I read over the instructions for the arm marks. We need to draw the symbols and then do a prayer to seal it in. I bet the cultists had to ward themselves against lots of spirits. That's the only reason why something like this would be in this book. Didn't you say one of your staff writers put this thing together? It's accurate. This isn't one of the made-up parts. To be honest with you, the majority of the books here were pieced together from multiple sources. There wasn't a lot of creativity involved. The book is as real as it gets. We should do the prayer now to protect ourselves. We have to head into the indulgence room next. The indulgence room is meant to be a hell room. It's our most over-the-top space. There are hacked-up bodies hanging. If there's any room we need to prepare for, it's that one. Even a third of the ward is better than nothing. You're right. Do you have a marker or something? I keep a pen with me, if that's okay. Don't lose it. I spent good money on it. It's a felt-tip pen. You'll get your pen back when I'm done. Don't worry. Is Blake one of those guys that spends $80 on a pen? I scribble my best copy of the symbol. Fortunately, the symbol is pretty simple to duplicate. It isn't complicated to draw. He does the same after I finish. This ward better work. I'm confident that it will. Ready to recite the prayer? I hold the book open so he can say it with me. Bless this ward and let it quell their thirst for vengeance. Let this ward temper their anger and cool their hearts, for our war is in the right place for saving them from a life too painful to bear. I don't feel any different. Maybe you're not supposed to. Let's head to the indulgence room. Right behind you. Exit to the hallway. Blake shivers. Why is it so cold out here? We keep the heat on. I don't like this. My stomach flops. Don't they say cold chills are a sign of ghosts? I'm sorry we have to deal with all of this. It's not like it's your fault. You have nothing to be sorry for. You'll see Zoey soon. We'll find her soon. Yeah. The thought of possible vengeful ghosts roaming about only makes me want to find Zoey faster. The haunted house designers went all out with this room. Are those eyeballs in that jar? Yes, the cult often scooped out eyes. I don't remember why exactly. It's impressive, isn't it? I'm not sure what the worst thing in the room is. Maybe the hanging dissection. I shudder. I'm not sure that she'd be in here. She'd probably come in here and then run right out. I'm half ready to run out too. Maybe there will be a trace of her somewhere around here. I start looking around the room, mindful of my steps, careful not to get too close to any of the grotesque props. Do you see the next scrap of paper around here anywhere? I don't know if that's it, but I see some paper in that prop bucket over there. That's when the smell from the bucket hits me. Is that old meat? What is that? I cover my nose, but to no avail. The rancid smell breaks through to my nostrils anyway. It's as bad as meat that's been sitting out in the sun for days. I nearly gag. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what that is. I peer in. It looks fleshy. Is that an intestine? Someone from the prop department may have whipped it out. We like using as many of the 5 senses in our scenes as possible. Smells can be as horrific as sights and sounds. In the case of this bucket, more so. Blake's talking a lot. I can tell he's stalling. Why is that? Too afraid to get his precious jacket dirty? I'll do it. I'm not afraid of a little grime. I count to 3, then stick my hand right at the slimy, meaty bucket. It's oddly warm. Something inside of it curls around my fingers. I seize up. It doesn't let go. What is it? Look to Blank for an answer, and he's looking at me like nothing's wrong. The creature's tightening its grip. I can feel it. It wants to pull me in. I brace myself. I ground my heels for some leverage, and with a scream, I pull my arm out of its hold. I can hear the strange liquid splash when it splatters against the ground. Kelly, are you okay? There's something in there. It's fake meat and sludge stuff. It's a theater trick. I hope you're not hallucinating. I heard angry spirits can distort people's visions. I know what I felt, Blake. He nods, letting go of our impending argument. Good, he would have lost anyway. Should we get that prayer thing to lock in the symbols or whatever? Should we do? We can wait until we have the final one. I hear a faint noise, almost like a whisper. I swear it was saying my name. Ugh, this room is freaking me out. What's the next one? Next up is the purification room. It's where sacrifices go to be, washed down, I guess you could say. I like to think of it as the preparation room. Purification, preparation, same thing really. I follow him out of the indulgence room and into the purification room, and not a moment too soon. Watch your step. I wouldn't want you to fall into the water. We designed this room as a cleansing area. People would be scrubbed down here before being brought to the ritual room. What's the point of that? Not sure. I'm not on the design team. My interpretation is that the cult wanted their sacrifices' bodies to be purified as much as possible. They intended to wash the indulgences away from them. That's why we go to the purification room after the indulgence room on the tour. A sudden slithery sound interrupts our conversation. Something is crawling on the ground, dragging itself along on its stomach. There are footsteps. We should hide. Where? He gestures with his hands, pointing out a few of my options. I get low enough to crawl inside of the first cubbyhole I find. I control my breathing the best that I can. I have no idea where Blake's gone. He must have found a cubbyhole of his own. Hiding in the crawl space makes me feel like a child again. I'm snapped out of my thoughts when a shadow darts past my hiding place. Is someone messing with us after all? I'm getting tired of this. Tackle that shit. I leap out of my hiding place and pull down the person by the ankles. They go down like a pile of wood. Another one? Weird. Blake steps into view. Guess he was hiding in cubbyhole after all. I wonder how he managed to fit. You attacked it? What if it had been someone dangerous, or some dangerous ghost? You can't tackle a ghost, Blake. And, well, what do you know? It wasn't someone dangerous either. Staring at it, I could see how it could be confused for a person. The woodwork was startlingly lifelike. This one has a mouth, unlike the other smoother face one. Do you recognize this from your prop department? Yes, but it shouldn't be in the purification room. We don't have any pulley rigs in here. I'm gonna have to talk to someone about this. He glances at his walkie-talkie and frowns. When's the last time that thing worked? At a later time, I suppose. Hey, isn't this a paper scrap? I pulled it out of the mannequin's mouth. It's the third symbol that we're looking for. Great, it'll be easier to find your sister once we're not worrying about being possessed. Here, you can borrow my pen first. I make quick work of adding the second and third symbols to my arm. I pass the pen back to him. It's surprising how fast he copies them down. Are you ready for the prayer? Damn, we left the book back in the reading room. Don't worry, I've memorized it. Repeat after me. I roll my eyes. Somehow I find it hard to believe. I bet he's trying to show off. Bless this ward and let it quell their thirst for vengeance. Bless this ward and let it quell their thirst for vengeance. And just like that, the ghost won't bother us anymore. There's something off about the way he's smiling at me. A little girl's scream cuts through the room. Zoey? I rush forward, but Blake grabs me by the arm. You can't interrupt them. The ritual's almost over. What are you talking about? I try to free myself from his grip, but his hold gets stronger. It's improper to walk into the middle of a ritual, especially now that you're a part of the family. He traces his finger down my arm. The smile hasn't left his face. There's no such thing as ghosts, Kelly. This ward is a symbolic promise to our cult leader. You're one of us. You? You're from the cult? It's real? The room's spinning. If Blake weren't grabbing my arm, I think I'd fall. Let go of me. To my surprise, he does without a fight. The door to the ritual room is unlocked. You can go right through. I don't waste any time. Zoey! My breath catches in my throat. I can't move. Through the crowd, I can catch a glimpse of her leg covered in blood. Evisceration is a necessity. Did they torture her? Was she shown any mercy? If the sacrifice isn't cooperating, you should skip to evisceration, with a firm slice to the abdomen. Blood. The blood all over her body. Signs of struggle. She didn't have an easy death. Seems like she gave them a hard time. What a shame. Some vehicles don't appreciate the freedom that we're giving their souls. What is wrong with you? The words pass out of me like a whisper when I meant to scream them. Why? I couldn't save her. I spent all of my time playing a hide-and-seek game instead of looking for her. They were tearing her to shreds when I was walking around with this guy. You planned this, didn't you? You knew the whole time. Yes, Zoey was a prime target, someone that embodied the entire reason why we did this. We rescued children before this dark world taints them. I start backing up. They're going to kill me next. First Zoey and now me. My legs turn weak. Where am I supposed to go when there are so many people against me? Don't worry, I know exactly how you feel. When I helped my little brother ascend, I felt as confused as you. But then I learned to accept our mission, and now I too am in a better place. A monster! I'm a savior. You lied to me. You tricked me. All for the good of one child. I see it out of the corner of my eye, a knife on the ritual room floor. I could grab it. I could stab him with it and get revenge for Zoey. Who cares if the rest of them attack me next? I don't care about that. I refuse to go down without taking someone with me. If they were going to kill me anyway, why not go out on my own terms? Zoey, I'm so sorry. I reach down and get the knife. Huh? I'm going to regret that. It's not like I'm going to live long enough to regret anything. Your people are going to turn on me as soon as you order them to. What are they even standing around for? She deserves a proper burial. You don't get away with this. Killing me won't stop anything. I run forward with the knife in my hand. I'm tired of hearing them talk, lie after lie. I try driving it as far as I can into Blake's chest. The blade disappears into the hilt. A trick knife. I let out an empty laugh right before his real one stabs into me. His swing was so practiced. Sorry, Zoey, it looks like I messed up. Maybe I am the worst sister. Maybe. Maybe. Game over. Do-do-do. Guts.